Hey, what's up guys, this is Vesper, and we're now on to our final part of our Sakura guide. This is part 3, and in this video, we're going to discuss how to actually play her. Now, if you guys missed out on parts 1 or 2, the links for that is in the video description below. And of course, if you guys want to get straight to the combo guides and stuff, we already made them. That's in the video description as well. So let's get started. So first off, what kind of character is Sakura? Well, she's a Shoto type character with a decent set of moves. That can potentially cover all situations with some interesting pressure options as well. The pros of Sakura is her movement, especially her backwards walk speed, her light attack conversions. She technically has a throw loop in the corner. She has an invincible reversal, which is always great. Corner damage is really good too, and pressure when close. But she does have some cons, and that's poor medium attacks, especially the conversions. Her V skill is very limited. It's next to almost useless actually. She's got very slow fireball recovery. It's like -8 on block really close, and the startup is slow as well. And her V triggers are too honest, and like they're not too crazy. They're not insane comeback factors, and you still have to make the comeback yourself. The V triggers won't carry you to win with this character. So your main goal with Sakura is to bring your opponent to the corner and abuse your pressure, which can lead to great conversions and throw loops. So you can achieve this goal by abusing your standing light kick buffer in neutral, which is really strong, using your hard kick tatsu to get in close and to also go over fireballs, carefully timed fireballs that can push your opponent back towards the corner, and being on point with your anti-airs to stop yourself from being pushed back to the other corner. Now let's talk about the ranges. So at long range, Sakura is not completely useless since she has a fireball. Remember to use the hard punch version of her fireball because that's the one that goes full screen, and this is actually ideal for her charged up fireball since you gain multiple hits with it, and it'll beat other projectiles that they throw at you since it does 2 hits, and also you're not adding too much risk about getting jumped in from the opponent because you are full screen in the first place. You can also use a slow version to safely use it to get close to the opponent by following behind it, and then anti-airing them if they try to jump over it, and basically just using it to protect you as you advance forward towards your opponent. Now personally, I like to throw out a few charged fireballs just to test to see if the opponent jumps over and I can anti-air them, and then once they start becoming scared, a little more docile, I then take a risk and then I cancel the charged fireball into my V skill, which I explained to you guys that before. Even if they block the fireball, I mean, I can still be really plus and right next to them. It's just another way of me getting in right away, and make sure you time that to be really low to their body, whether that or you're going for the command throw with the V skill as well. But don't just do it right away because you're going to end up, the opponent's going to end up jumping on you, and then you're stuck in the air with the V skill and you're going to get knocked out of the air as well. Your anti-air options are really limited when you're really far away from them, but I would advise either using standing medium kick if they're jumping in on you, or your EXDP is also pretty good anti-air when you're really far away. Okay, on to mid-range now. Sakura has weak medium conversions from mid-screen. Her medium punch has next to no range. Her crouching medium kick has very low range as well, and her standing medium kick doesn't even convert into anything. So you'll be focusing most of the time using standing light kick and buffering that into the medium DP, which I explained in my previous videos. If you run into opponents who have great medium and hard normals that can crush counter your light kick, then you're going to need to carefully use fireballs for some added poking range. Basically, you want to use the fireballs as an extension of your limbs, but be careful with this because of course the opponent can jump in on you quite easily. Now for opponents who can also zone you out projectiles, some of your best options is to use EX Fireball. Since it causes a knockdown, you can quickly dash right back in and regain, control of the match. But a less costly option is to use the hard kick Tatsu, which I explained before. This goes right over fireballs, but this has a slow startup, so you basically have to predict it. But fortunately, it is -2 on block, so it's not that unsafe. And EXDP is great if you have good reactions, since it goes right through the fireball as well, and has good horizontal travel. Now V skill should be an absolute last resort to go over projectiles, since it's way too slow. Good luck trying to do it on someone like Guile. Even using a charged fireball cancelled into V skill is risky, since the opponent can jump on you while you're charging that fireball in the first place. That's why I advise to do it full screen instead. Now keep in mind your crouching medium kick is really stubby. It has less range than her standing light kick, by a lot actually. And if you choose to cancel fireballs, you're -8 on block, which is really dangerous. You can be punished by a lot of people that know the matchup. So you don't want a player like Ryu where you're constantly using your crouching medium kick because bad range and super minus. Now, feel free to stick out a standing hard kick every now and then because the crush counter conversions are actually really good. She can get a full dash in light conversion even when you land this like max range. And you don't want to throw it out too often, obviously, because the opponent can jump in on you, but it is just another tool that you have at that mid-range. Now, for opponents that jump in on you, you have great anti-air options as Sakura at mid-range. Your go-to anti-air should definitely be your crouching hard punch, which has a huge hitbox on the top at the tip, so make sure to do it a little early. Back hard punch is also good for when your opponent tries to cross you up, but keep in mind it's only an anti-air on the last active frame, so when her arms are completely over her head, so you gotta use that a little earlier than you think. It's a little slower than you think. You can also keep your opponent on their toes with an anti-air fireball, but use this sparingly, otherwise the opponent obviously is going to catch on, but the reward is pretty big too. If you charge it, you can land a DP and juggle right after. Light Punch DP is also your 4-frame anti-air option. This is not invincible like I said before, but the hitbox is amazing on this, so it works really reliably. Just like I said, if you're in a pinch or you whiff a normal or something and you need a really fast anti-air, then Light Punch DP should be your go-to. And then use the EX DP as an anti-air for absolute emergencies where you have little to no time. You need something like 1 frame now, use the EX DP. Alright, let's talk about close range now. This is where Sakura truly shines. It's ideal to cancel most of your normals into her light Tatsu, since it is -2 on block, so it's relatively safe. If you land a counter hit, you can convert it into a crouching light punch. So let me show you guys what that looks like, or into a medium DP. And if it hits non-counter hit, I mean, it's still +1, so you can go into a throw, you can go into a shimmy, for example, which is great. And also, you can go into a little frame trap. You can go something like, since you're +1, I usually go standing light punch, standing light kick right after. So there's like a 2-frame gap there. Another ideal situation is to land the hard kick Tatsu, which is even stronger. You can do this mainly from landing a standing hard punch up close. When you do this, you're +2, so you can now frame trap into a standing medium punch. And if you get a counter hit with that, that means you can go right back into your hard punch again and go something like hard Tatsu, standing medium punch, standing hard punch, back into the hard Tatsu, and you're basically in a form of a loop. Of course, if it hits, you don't have to do that. I mean, you can go into the same thing with the light Tatsu, a throw, you can go into a shimmy, or like I said, a frame trap with standing medium punch. So really good, and that's one of your main up-close tools you want to use. Now your light confirms are also very strong. You can go crouching light kick and the crouching light punch, which leads into the medium DP, which pushes them towards the corner and gets a knockdown, which is your goal. And then you also have a 3 light confirm, which is really strong, pretty rare in Street Fighter V actually. So you go something like this, and then same thing. So a really big window, really easy to confirm lights with her. Now, even though standing medium punch has really bad range, it's super fast start at 5 frames. And it's also +3 on block, which is huge. So this gives you a small window when you're applying pressure to do standing medium punch and walk forward slightly and do another standing medium punch. And you can basically fish for counter hits. If your opponent tries to stick out a normal in between, you get a counter hit, you can really easily convert into what I personally like to do is a standing light kick, because of the range is really huge. If you hit him with the tip of it, you'll still be in range to convert into something really useful. But I mean, you can go something stronger, like into a crouching medium kick, or you can go wild and just, you know, do a standing hard punch to the hard kick Tatsu loops as well. But I mean, when they're under pressure like that, they're gonna be scared to press buttons, and then at that point you can do a medium punch and just throw them, and then of course medium punch and then do a little shimmy as well. Now, speaking of shimmies, in general, you want to consider using EX Tatsu if you want to spend the meter. Since it is safe on block, it's -2. You get great corner carry and even Oki on top of that as well. And there's just not too many good things you can convert this into specialized, because it's, you know, there's a lot of unsafe moves you can do. There's a light Tatsu as well if you want to use little resources. So when you score a knockdown, the most ideal meaty attack is to use your down forward hard kick. So the start is pretty slow, it's 12 frames, but since it has 3 active frames, it's quite easy to eyeball it. Now it is +3 on hit and +2 on block, so that's really good. I mean, it's plus either way. So what you want to do is when you score a knockdown, when you land it, you convert into a crouching light punch, right? If you land a counter hit with it, you can go into a standing medium punch, which goes into a crouching medium kick. And if the opponent blocks it, I mean, you're still +2, so you can still go into your standing medium punch and fish for that counter hit. And I can go into a, it's out of range for the standing hard punch though, so you can't go for that Tatsu. But then you go into like a crouching medium kick, for example, and then pressure them after that. You don't have to, go for a frame trap afterwards. You can just simply throw them, the same thing, throw them, or you can shimmy them after, etc. Now, once you get your opponent to the corner, your combos really start getting some bonus damage, thanks to the EX Tatsu conversions. I mean, you can go into an EX DP or a light DP afterwards. And you also have access to your throw loops, making your shimmy game much more dangerous as well. You've probably noticed that I mentioned like the 3 main offensive tools of throw, shimmy, and frame trap many times in this video. And just keep in mind that Sakura is pretty honest in that she has nothing really abusable outside of her close pressure and her standing light kick buffering. So it's very important to have a basic game plan to open up your opponent using shimmies and throws constantly. And boom, that's it guys. That's my Sakura guide on how to play her. Hopefully this video series has helped you guys out in learning her. And yeah, maybe I'll do some more of these down the road. So thanks for taking the time to watch this guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and of course like the video too please. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted for more Street Fighter V content in the future. Take care everyone. Peace out.